Hey guys, welcome back to the CX Show. As always, I'm joined here by two co-hosts, Dad and Alex.
God Morgan to our Swedish listeners.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Bro, he did better with those takes. And we have two special guests here from GL King, Mal and Michael. Thank you for joining us today. I can't wait to get started.
Thanks for having us along. We're absolutely thrilled to be here today. Looking forward to it. So what's everyone's role? What are you?
Alex, what's your role?
I gotta pick up some golf clubs though.
I started the business.
Yeah.
27 years ago.
Yeah.
So Dad's CEO.
Yeah, but I'm kind of
always be CEO.
I'm kind of phasing out a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Or, trying.
How old are you, John?
Trying
Sorry,
to.
I don't know. It's a rude question.
No.
How old does he look?
At what stage in my 40s do you think I'm at? No, I'm 62, 63.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when's the exit?
3 years ago.
Okay.
It was before we actually bought this place.
Yeah. Right.
That was the exit, and then we got this, and I thought, okay, I'm here for a few more years now.
Yeah. What's the inspiration behind here?
Well, we ran out of room.
We were full.
Yeah, we ran out of room.
We were full next door.
We ran out of room,
Yeah.
and we had to extend there. But how do you extend and keep your operation growing at the same time? Really, really hard because there'd be. And then this came up for sale, and I thought, well,
Keep for the podcast.
Where's your phone?
In my pocket.
Put it on. You got questions as well?
are the cameras rolling, James?
No,
Just
that's what I was
talk.
gonna say.
Yeah, they're rolling.
Oh, they are rolling.
We can take things from here. That's fine.
Yeah. Now I lost my train of thought. What was that?
How do you keep the business growing?
No. So I thought, okay, we can get this site here, and we were always saying no to people for storage because we, over there, we've got a large area. In the daytime, it's fairly empty, but at night, we got no room. Every inch of the floor is full. Yep. So I thought, well, if we come over here to get such a large factory, it's going to take you ages to fill, like through what we do.
Yep.
And I thought, well, we could actually do some storage. And that way we'll do storage and then, that'll help pay for the bills and everything here.
Yep.
And give us some breathing room from over there. So when we came here, I think just the overflow from there, we filled it up 20% before we even started.
Yeah. So
That's how maxed out we were over there.
So when you're talking about storage here, like it's the warehouse model, is it a pick-pack model? So
yeah, we do.
So you take in pallets and then you'll receive individual customer orders and pick-pack.
Yeah. So we do some companies we do nationally. So we're their DC.
Yeah.
And they'll give us orders and things. We pick them, pack them, and line haul them up to Sydney or wherever it's got to go.
Is that the next big growth phase for your business? Do you reckon? Is that?
I still think what we do, we shouldn't lose focus of what our core business is.
It's cross-docking.
Cross-docking,
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because we get like contract manufacturing opportunities all the time. So people that are, haven't got capacity to be able to grow their business anymore. So look to us as a manufacturer, but then they ask us for the next phase, can you pick, pack and individual orders? Well, we're already finding now our warehouse is 18 months old, but we haven't got enough cold store to be able to manage that. We're busy enough trying to pick, pack our own orders. So that's a big enough challenge without picking and packing other people's orders. So I can see, for me, I see that as a big shortfall still out there. It's obviously a big opportunity for you guys to be able to really lean on that. And I mean, even for us, if we grow our business much more, we won't be able to pick pack. We'll just be able to manufacture.
And that's and that's where I was saying we need to try and stick to what our core is, even though this is a really good addition. It's like you guys with your meals. You've got peaks and troughs. If our customers have peaks and troughs, guess what? We've got peaks and troughs as well. Because there's much more demand in summer than there is in winter for refrigerated. Like, people have barbecues, they go out, chicken sales go up.
Speaking of meals, what is your range? You want to take us through your range?
Our range?
Yeah, your meals. Yeah, your meals.
Yeah, well, background in our business has been produce. So I started in the business nearly 30 years ago, but I didn't end up in the business by default, but I ended up being given the opportunity to take over JL King. So my dad in his mid-60s decided to come out of retirement and brought a fruit shop in Bendigo. So I was a builder, so I left school at 15, went and done an apprenticeship as a builder, and we were going through back when the recession was on, and work was tight. So and I'd just been married, and my wife was pregnant with her first child, and I found myself out of work. And Dad said, "Look, I just brought this shop. You can come and give me a hand. I don't know how it's going to go." So went in and just started working in the fruit shop. I had a bit of experience as a 14-year-old. I worked at Tuckerbag in Bendigo in the fruit and vegetable department.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, so Hayes Tuckerbag it was in Mackay Road in Bendigo, and done that for a few years until I'd done my apprenticeship, and so I went across with Dad, and so we just he sort of ran the shop, and I decided, look, we might try and wholesale some vegetables out through the hospitality, through the hotels and restaurants and so on. And Dad was pretty well known in Bendigo. He used to quite frequently visit some of those places, so he had a lot of good friends in places and hospitality venues, and they jumped on board and sort of backed us a little bit. So at the time we used JL King as so they would go to the market twice a week. We would place our orders, they'd bring it back. I'd go across to the shed, pick it back, take it back to the shop, and that's how we'd run the business. But after about 6 months, we decided that we'd do. My uncle was a tomato farmer, and used to grow tomatoes up in Bendigo or up in Gornong, and used to transport them to the market. He said, "Oh, if you want to come down, start coming to the market with me, and I'll show you, a little bit around buying fruit and vegetables." So.
And you went to the market?
Went to the market, yeah. So for the first time, he went down and he's
in Footscray.
In Footscray.
Yeah.
So I went down in the truck and thought, oh, this is pretty cool. Not too bad. So
I used to go there every day. You know, even with my dad. You know what the best part of the market was? At the end of the market, you'd go get your hot dog.
Yeah.
We used to go to Charlie's Cafe. There was 4 cafes on each point.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd get a double dog, but anyway.
Oh, look, obviously the market it's a different life down there, different experience, and there's so many forklifts and so much action. And you know, when your first trip, I'll never forget my first trip down there. Your eyes just go, wow. You know, and you fear for your life at times because the forklifts are running that quick.
It's organised chaos. That's how I looked at it.
But it was organised. But that's the thing. There was no lines. There was nothing there. There was no this way, that way. And I know if ever anyone would come with me, they'd just freeze. Yeah. And I'd say, no, don't worry about it. And they say, what do you mean? There's forklifts everywhere. There's these little scooters going everywhere. I said, yeah, don't worry about it. You just walk where you got to walk. They'll go around you.
Exactly right. Yeah, keep your line. Keep your line. And
no, it was
like
good.
Bali traffic.
Yeah, exactly like Bali traffic. But there was hardly. I think, I went to the market for over 20 years. I don't think I ever saw. Sorry. One accident.
Yeah, but you're only there for an hour, right?
No. I'm there for 2 hours. No, yeah, but you know how busy it is.
Yeah. You brought me a couple times, I remember. Yeah, I didn't eat double dog, but
you got food. Right.
You well fed. There's no
I was looked after.
But Footscray was a bit unique in that way, wasn't it? I mean, extremely
it was its
busy.
Own world.
Yeah. Where the new market these days, obviously a little bit different, a little bit more controlled.
Yeah.
Still chaos, but not to
Do you know, when I remember they actually then introduced lines at Footscray, like you had to keep your left and right.
Yep.
And ever since, like when they did that, that was the worst thing.
Yeah.
People were just, that's when the accidents starting to happen.
That's right. People get confused. The old way, people just knew you just walk in your straight line and you don't go left, you don't go right, just keep in your lane.
Yep.
People will go around you.
So your uncle brought you to the market, yeah?
Yeah, so we went into the market and so thought that's pretty cool. So we thought, well, we'll just do our own buying now, and we said that the Quinn family owned JL King at this time. So said to Norman Standard, the 2 brothers, I said, look, we're going to go and do our own thing. Thanks for everything, and that's what we done. So so we kept the shop going, and it was growing, and it was going okay, but the wholesale trade was getting busier and busier, and we're probably then becoming in competition to each other. So we were competing against, back in then, the fruiterers of Bendigo were JL King and Halls, and we were just at a fruit shop just trying, but we were sort of taking a little bit of the market. And the Quinn family rang me up one day and said, look, we need to sit down and have a chat. We think we own, the warehouse in Green Street. Green Street was an old banana depot run by the Coffs Harbour Banana Growers Association. They ended up taking that over and setting it up as a wholesale fruit outlet.
So your opposite is that Jeff Hall?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. You got a few.
There was a few in it over the
shops.
years.
Yeah.
So because our business originally started by the King family, we've got photos back to 1913.
Wow, that's crazy.
But there's also a King and another name back in the 1890s as fruiterers in Bendigo. So the name goes back a long way in Bendigo, so it's very well known through country Victoria, and they distributed right up to Mildura and Echuca, right around those regions back in those days. So the history of it's amazing.
Imagine how tired those horses got.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
it would have been unbelievable. But they were also market gardeners as well. But the Quinn family took it over in the 60s, went through to the 90s, and then so I went in and had a meeting, and they said to me, look, we've had enough. Norm had a shop in Bendigo, a little old fruit shop he'd had for years and years, and Stan, his brother, was running the wholesale at JL King, and they said, we think you can take this business over and run it, as long as you're happy to come in, take it over, lease the building off us, we'll help you get set up and get you going. And so that was it. So there was 2 trucks, 3 staff, and 2 market runs a week. So and away we went from there. So that was my sort of journey back in 1997, and that's what started me into this business. I would never sort of grew up in the business, or my background, wasn't being brought up in this as a family business as such. I sort of got there by default by working against the guys, really. So, but they were great. They looked after me for a long time. Obviously, we outgrew those where we leased off the guys pretty quickly. So about 3 years later, we moved into a new site into Golden Square. And by then, Keating's Transport out of Bendigo built us a site out the back there, set us up with cool rooms, and by then they were doing they'd run a semi for us. So 4 years later, we went from an 8 pallet truck running to the market twice a week to a semi every night into Melbourne. So that was always our big aim for us, was to try and bring fresh produce, because you'd see the restaurants, they would place an order with you on a Tuesday night for something out of the ordinary that you wouldn't normally stock, that you'd have to physically go and buy from the market, and you go, look, sorry, I'm not back to the market till Thursday. So it was always our big that was our challenge, but what we wanted to get to was to be able to get to Melbourne, get back fresh produce into the hospitality industry 5 nights a week, so they could place an order and have stock that was picked potentially yesterday and on the plates.
Thursday was the big market day.
Yeah, absolutely.
That used to be the biggest
Why
day.
Thursday?
Just how it felt. People from the country used to come down.
Yeah, because you'd pick up Thursday and then it'd be going everywhere out Thursday, not Friday for the weekend trade.
And a lot of country buyers and probably still today, they don't go to the market 5 days a week. It might only be twice a week, and you're stocking up, fruit and veg, and putting them in, and you're just selling it through as you go.
I used to go every day. Every now and again, I'd miss, I think, a Tuesday or a Wednesday, depending on how the sales were the day before. But I go every day. The worst thing I remember, I don't know what happened, but I ran out of, I think it was beans. Yeah. I thought, do I get up and go to the market just for a bag of beans, right? A 20 kilo bag, or you can buy them in 10 kilo lots back then. But yeah, I'd go from Caulfield, I'd drive in there just to grab that bag of beans, because sure enough, if I didn't get those beans, I'd have 3 or 4 people throughout the day come in and say, "We want beans."
Where's your beans, John?
And we don't want Brussels sprouts or something. Yeah. But yeah. Customer service.
So you started the business with your mate. Is there any other family members that are in the business on the journey?
When I went into JL King, Dad, he stayed in the fruit shop. So so I went in on my own. So I took a mate of mine come with me. He was a truck driver, so he done the driving, and that's how we sort of started. So Dad did sell the shop sometime later, and then he come and worked in the business as a delivery driver, and Dad worked through till he was 85.
Wow.
So your dad was cutting our grass back then,
Yeah,
taking the deliveries off us.
yeah, but he was running around. But he'd love it. We used to drive up into Chichura and Shepherd and picking up fruit, buying fruit and tomatoes and bringing it back. Like that was his thing. Like he just loved the relationships with the growers and getting around. But we had to take him off the road. He was getting dangerous. He's got 2 ton on a Mercedes van that should be carting a ton, and you go, oh, what are you doing? You know, look, the van would be wobbling all over the road. But so that's. So besides that, my wife, she looks after payroll today, and HR, a lot of the HR stuff. I've had a sister and a brother-in-law that have been involved who become shareholders back in around 2011. My brother-in-law retired at the start of this year. My sister's about to retire next week. So, but other than that, it's pretty much just been myself and my wife. My 2 kids have decided they don't want nothing to do with the business. I suppose growing up, like I used to do a lot of the buying and work during the day, and you probably appreciate this, John, that you're working out what you need to order at 9 o'clock at night for us, because we're down in Bendigo. We've got a fair drive to get here, and then we've got to go and do our buying. We've got to get the trucks loaded. We've got to get back. So you're back at Bendigo at 5 a.m. But really, your day's just about to start. Yeah. So then you'd go through till try and be out of there by 2 in the afternoon, home in the bed, up by 8. Getting ready. So my kids seen that and grew up, and then they come and help in the school holidays. And I think they just thought, no way, we don't want to have anything to do with it. So my youngest boy lives down here. He's a nurse down at the Avenue down here, and my oldest boy's a school teacher in Adelaide. So there's so it's just me and my wife stuck in Bendigo now. We don't know what we're going to do. So that's where we're at.
What other challenges and what are the benefits of having family involved?
Be interesting to ask my wife this one. Obviously working, as a couple every day, and then going home every day.
No, he said the advantages.
Well, it presents.
We can cut that out for you.
Acting like mum doesn't work with you.
It's funny because yesterday, last night Marie said to me, "Feels like I haven't seen you because you got your things to do, and sometimes." Your paths, even though you're in the same building,
your offices are literally across the road.
You can look out your glass window.
Yes, but we didn't talk yesterday.
You're not talking?
We didn't. No.
I did hear him snore on the couch. It's all right. I'll move over.
No, because I'm doing my thing, she's doing her thing, and she said last night at our family dinner, which you were late to again.
Footy training. It's a common thing. You say I'm late every week. I got footy training every week.
But you're still late every week. But last night was good. We actually played games at the end.
Yeah, we played a little singing game. My sister, she printed out some squares, and each tile had a different word, and it's like a word association sort of thing. So she would say a word, and you would have to tap the table as your buzzer, and you would have to sing a song that has that word in it.
You did hog it last night.
Just... nickname Shazam. I had it on the
you were hogging it.
So Tuesday nights to get together?
Tuesday night, family dinner night, which is...
How big's the family? How many?
Oof. This guy keeps growing it.
There's 6 of us in our immediate family. So 4 siblings. So it's our oldest sister, Jacinta, who's also in a business. She's head of QA for us, and she's got her hands in other departments as well. Then it's myself. And then we have another younger sister, which is called Rebecca. She doesn't work in the business. And then Alex is the last child. So there's 4 of us siblings. And now I have 3 girls myself. That ages 3, 2, and 7 months.
Wow, you've been busy.
Yeah, I've been busy. That's it. Yeah,
and then your wife.
And your wife.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. So my wife.
Alex has brought in an addition now.
Yeah.
I've my girlfriend comes to family dinner night, which is nice, which is good.
Family dinner.
Working
it's getting serious now.
Are the partners in the business working in the business?
My wife, Justina, she during COVID she worked in the business, right? Because she has her own salon. She's a makeup artist and hairdresser.
Yep.
So she does that. And then my mother-in-law actually also worked a little bit in the business as well for a while. But yeah, at the moment now it's just us.
My girlfriend does conveyancing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, her family owns a strawberry farm up in Sylvan.
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
Have we got the transport for that yet?
No.
Not yet.
He's playing a long.
Yeah.
He's playing a long game. Dad. I told him he's just playing a short game, but he's playing a long game.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of questions for you guys, but before we get into that, Mel, what obviously you're a part of GL King. What do you do in the business?
So I'm an account manager for all of our customers nationally. So I also look after the Metcash side. I also help out with some transport and things, some production sometimes when, allocations, things like that. So mainly sales, account management, but then also help out with whatever else I can.
Bit of an all-rounder.
Bit of a bits and bobs of everything.
Yeah. And for you, how's it like being a part of a family business?
I've
especially
worked
in
in
the
2
regional
family
industries.
businesses now.
Okay.
My previous role at Posh Foods was also a family business. I feel that...
I knew you from somewhere.
Yeah. I feel you get
Okay.
more... I feel more successful knowing that I'm growing a business for a family. I've worked at other places where it's, corporate, and I don't know, I feel a bit more... What's the word?
Relaxed.
No, not relaxed. I feel like I work a bit more harder because I know that there's people's lives depending on the sales you get through the door. So
You're like a part of the family.
I am a bit a part of the family. So
Why don't you have that attitude?
He's
I
literally part of the family. That's why.
so yeah, I do enjoy the family business side, and we all get along great. We've got great relationships. So
That's good.
we fight all the time.
Yeah. She brings passion, so which is
Maybe too much.
So, Mark, you mentioned before the business started with 3 people. What's the numbers like now?
about 180 today.
Whoa!
Yeah, nice.
Wow!
Yeah, so there's a whole range or a lot of variations in people that we employ today. There is we've got a group of chefs, people just kitchen hands. There's the ready meals and the salad lines. There's pick and packing. There's still the produce, so we still go to market every night. We have a warehouse set up out at Epping in the market, so we're in there buying every night. We do travel to Adelaide twice a week. It's in the B-double over there, so we do a lot of work through Adelaide and into Perth. So our trucks will go over there. They will unload at various depots, and then they'll go out to Virginia.
Yeah.
And they reload off the farm, so they'll go out to the potato farms, grab potatoes. They go to carrot farms, pick up carrots, and then there's a couple of glass houses out there where they'll go and grab things like capsicums, cucumbers, all that sort of stuff. So then and come back. So that's another part. So we're not just buying all just from the produce side, because obviously we use a lot of produce to make salads and to make meals. So we're going out to those farms, contract growing a lot of stuff these days, rather than just going to the market every night and hoping for the best that we're going to buy at the right price. We try and set a price with a grower that works for them, works for us, so that then we know what our margin is. So we're taking sort of mitigating that risk margin risk out of the business as much as we possibly can.
In Epping, is the market the same as it was in Footscray? Like the same setup, like where the trucks come in, they go in the middle, and you just buy off the back of the trucks?
Not really, no.
No,
So
mainly agents.
It's more
then.
storeholders now. Yeah.
it's pretty much mainly. There is a growers section, but mainly, more store holders and agents through there.
Because I used to love it coming towards 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. They'd have to go home, obviously, and if they had anything left, it'd be going really, really cheap.
Yeah, time to buy.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot less of that now, and there's a lot more probably pre-ordering of stock as well. So you're not actually physically on the floor as much. I reckon that takes a bit of the fun out of it too, doesn't it? Like,
Oh, that'd be boring.
yeah. You want to be in there.
You got to go and haggle. Come on.
Yeah. You want to be in there looking. Oh, yeah, that's worth X amount. Well, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
So that haggling is not as what it used to be. Yeah. So it's a bit of a change.
You thought I got my haggling skills from Bali? No, I got it from the market.
Yeah. No.
I got it from the market.
Poor Balinese people cop it.
Yeah, they do.
Bartering over 50 cents. Yeah.
So we do, and obviously there's the sales team, administration team. We've got our we do have a sales management company we utilise as well around nationally.
Yeah.
So we do distribute nationally. So we cover every state in Australia with products. So servicing independent supermarkets of over 1,000 nationally, and then we also have some products that under contract manufacturing goes in the Woolies for the East Coast as well. Pretty much every store down the East Coast of Woolies. Then we do some contract manufacturing for IGA nationally. So we have a range of how many?
9 SKUs for Comco.
Yeah, so the Community Co Italian range.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at the Community Co Italian range
Yep.
in at any IGA stores, look at their lasagna. We make all their lasagnas and
Yeah, okay.
a lot of their pasta dishes. So they go out nationally as well. Yeah, but we moved into our new facility back in January 2024. It was a 6-year build.
6-year build.
6-year build.
Wow.
Yeah. The shed was up in 2018 and finished in 2024. So quite a bit happened. Like our business through COVID did rapidly grow fairly quickly, and that caused for a lot of change in our thoughts around what equipment we need. You know, we're making a lot more ready meals and sell like the whole range of the product. The SKU counts were growing. We make about 80 different products now, from a range of ready meals to side dishes that sit in hot boxes, you know, like scallop potatoes or cauliflower and white sauce, broccoli and white sauce. We do products like that. And then, then the salads and meals. But as the volume grew, the need for what equipment we need to utilise to cook to be able to push through the volume changed a lot. So our thought process of utilising just the rational ovens and then blast chillers, you know, we would have needed multiple amounts of those. So we had to step it up to sort of that next level of, big ovens, walk-through ovens, and we've got now big kettles now. We utilise 200 litre kettles now. Our kettles are 600 litres, but they're cooking and chilling in one vessel. So, and we're going to cook pasta through kettles, but when we showed the suppliers, I said that sort of volume's not going to work for you. You'll never get it through. So our pasta cooker is 12 metres long. Its throughput's 800 kilo an hour of pasta from raw to cooked and chilled in 4 degrees. So
I guess
so
lunch is sorted.
Yeah, I think it is.
That's what it sounds like.
It does.
So there was a lot of. That's why it took 6 years. So there was a lot of change in the business. But in saying that, the government did put out some through COVID, put out some decent opportunities around government grants, and we put in for a government grant, which we thought sat well and truly within what they were putting out there. So we put in for it, installed the project for about 6 months, waiting for a grant. We never got contacted and just found out on the portal one day that it was a big no. So I put a bit of a So we probably wasted our time, but
So I don't understand how that works. You put out a grant. What's the grant for?
The grant was under the modern manufacturing grant scheme through the federal government at the time, and I believe the grant was worth about 250 million. Was available. I think the grant we applied for was about 8 million, which was quite substantial, and we were hoping to be able to get the project done. We were hoping to get that grant. And then we got a big no, and we're 3/4 of the way through the project. It threw a bit of a spanner in the works.
Yeah. Right. So how did you pivot? How did you adapt?
We had to have a very good bank manager, so that's what we had to do. We had to change. So we got there in the end, but it was a little bit. Probably we spent a bit more money than what we anticipated. So from what we originally thought in 2018 we'd spend, we ended up spending 4 times the amount.
I mean, do you find that with most business, I assume, you always have your budgets in place and it always goes over. And it's just like those sort of challenges for growth, because every business, obviously strives for growth. Where are you guys leading now? What's your next step? Where do you plan to take this on?
Our facility now is running it probably. We've gone from 24/7 operation and not being able to meet demand.
Come on, scale up.
So that's what we've done, right? So we built the new facility to obviously, what's the next phase? We either had to make a decision: do we exit out here, or do we invest in. We haven't gone down the path of private equity. We're still just a family business. So, and we plan to stay that way. Look, I'm passionate. You know, I'm too young to retire, so I've got
Are you?
Yeah. I might look old, but I'm not. Not that old. I've got probably 15 years of work left in me. So,
Got to put up with him for another 15
more years of
now.
arguing.
so there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time left. So for the next phase for us, our factory now, I'm not sure. You know, we're probably running at 80 tonne of meals, 80 tonne of food
Solid
a week.
meals.
Yeah, solid meals a week. You know, the facility's probably capable of 160 to 200 tonne a week.
Wow. Okay.
So there's plenty of room. So we're running 4.5 days a week. So we've got a lot of room. So it's just a matter. I mean, we talk to people all the time, and there's a lot of manufacturers out there looking to contract or co-manufacture product.
Yeah.
So we're talking to people all the time. It's about getting a fit that's going to work with a business. So you know, it's got to be profitable. Number one. You know, there's no point just taking the work on. We've got to be able to make sure that you know, it goes through and there's some bottom line left in it for us as the manufacturer at the end of the day. So we'll continue to expand our range. What we'd like to do is really, with our current range, probably you know, even though we've got some really great loyal independent supermarkets that have supported our brand now for since 2008 when we originally started making some salads, and you know, we wouldn't be doing this if the supermarkets hadn't forced our hand and asked us. You know, similar. I've heard John's story about the pumpkin peeling. You know, our story is very, very similar. You know, it was come back to us and say, well, you know, can you make us a bit of dry coleslaw? You know, because we were peeling potatoes, we were peeling pumpkin. We still do that today. Have that food manufacturing side that services the food service industry.
Yeah.
But then the supermarkets actually forced us to say, can you get us some coleslaw? And coleslaw turned into a bit of pasta salad, from pasta salad, you know, into potato salad. So then all of a sudden we're supplying, you know, supermarkets with salads for their delis. And then we've done a retail pack, you know, a few years later. And then what do we do now? Because we've got this salad business that's great over summer, but it's got this big lull in winter. You know, like nobody wants to buy a salad all of a sudden. So we've got the staff there. So we had some really good chefs, and they come to us and said, "Oh, well, you know, I can make lasagna, I can make scalloped potato, I can do these, but let's give it a try." And as I say, the retailers that took on and supported our brands, you know, we come out with a new product still today, don't they? They're really loyal. You know, and I talk about, you know, our brand got going by the Champions Group, so at Bendigo before they were champions, but those stores supported us, and that's what pushed us into doing what we do today. You know,
And to this day, they're exclusive JL King. Like, they just support everything that we do, and they're...
That's pretty rare.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare because loyalty was very big when I was growing up, and I just seem to notice there's a lot less loyalty these days. You know, we had a broker come to see us, I think it was last week, and we do deliveries into Canberra, and he said, "Oh, you know, I can actually probably get them done a lot cheaper than what you're doing." I said, "Look, thank you. However, the people we use, we don't hear anything. The service is good, right? And we pay them a fair price, so I'm happy. So we don't even need to discuss
The
it.
job gets done, there's no issues, you don't have to worry about
Yep.
it.
So I didn't even entertain it. Where now you were talking about private equity and things like that, they would just, okay, let's get someone in, let's undercut it, and all of a sudden people start getting paid, you know, less and less, and the services, there's a cost to doing service.
Is that killing the market, would you think?
It's killing service. It's forcing the market to cut corners when people undercut.
There's got to be a bottom line that, like, you got, like, this costs this much. You can't really go on. You can't lose money.
But they do. And that's the thing. There's always someone willing to do it cheaper and will promise you the world. But how they actually do it is completely different. It's like, you know, you guys with your packs, you know, let's say they cost you, I don't know, $5 to make, for argument's sake. And, you know, someone comes and says, you know, we can do them, we'll go to Coles or Woolies or IGA and say, we'll get them to you for $4.50. And you're thinking, hang on, they cost us $5. And you've taken all the measures, you know, no one wants to waste money in business, especially family businesses. You are always looking at how do we do things the cheapest possible way. But you've got to maintain your standards. Yeah. So you're thinking, well, how can they possibly do it for less than us if we know that we cut the bone everywhere? You know, there's nowhere else to take, and they're going to undercut us. But yet they do. And what happens? It might be the packaging is flimsier. It's a cheaper grade of this. You know, the boxes fall apart.
Cut cost on quality.
Yes, yes. Quality costs money at the end of the day. There is a price for quality and a price for service. You know, you can get your products to a store. Yep, $5. Yep, what's your service? Yep, we're going there 5 days a week. Well, this other guy's going to, do it for $4.50, but he's going once or twice a week. Well, there's a cost,
It's costing everything.
There's always a cost.
I think it goes back to what I was saying before that. Like I see my vision's at least 15 years ahead. John, you've got a plan here. You've got your boys sitting in here. So our business ends up in private equity hands. There's one agenda, and that agenda is to flip it in 3 years' time, but take as much, bring up the bottom line, and they'll be ruthless around what they need to do that. So they don't care what they'll chop. It'll be just about profitability to be able to get the bottom line up, to be able to flip it and make a quick buck. Where businesses like ours and family businesses are so important, because that's not what we're about. We've got a vision, we've got a future, we've got our people. We want to look after our people.
Correct,
as
that's
well.
right. Yeah.
Do you find yourself, supporting family businesses because you've come from one?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're big because we're regionally Victorian based. We really push for that.
Yeah.
And where we can, and whenever we're making meals, we're always looking at where's the product going to come from. I mean, years ago we used to buy, say, our pasta was through San Remo, but we wanted to get with Bill down at Rinaldi, so we have meat, so we just always looking to change it.
Oh, you buy off Bill?
Yeah.
I know that. We know Bill Quayle.
Yeah,
there you go.
And so we want to support and still brands that aren't with family businesses, and where they're located as well is another big one. And look, Drake's are a great supplier of our brand as well through South Australia. And I know it took us a lot of work and a lot of years of working with them guys, to come out of South Australia. And it was probably a little bit lucky that it was a factory that where they were buying out of stock. But we've had great relationships for many, many years. But now they support us with not just all their salads or every supermarket they own, but all our meals. Every product we make sits across every Drake store.
And then there's times when they'll say, Mel, we need a one-day sale. Like, we lose a lot of money on those one-day sales, but if we didn't have their support, we wouldn't be there. So you've got to give as well. So we do a lot of that.
But they're still a family business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well,
Still
all
a
the
family
independents
business.
really are, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're all.
Richie's is another big one for us. The guys are just been so supportive, and we can't, without them, we are nothing. So we can't thank them enough.
Yeah. And like the bigger groups is like it's sometimes easier to deal with a group than the individual store, because if you're dealing with someone who's got 10 or 20 stores, or then you make a decision, you sit down, you work something out, and you've covered off 20 stores. But what we found, even under some of the banners, the individual stores, they just don't. Everyone's got their own idea.
Do their own thing.
They want to set up their own way. They want to do everything their own way, and there's no consistency. Which sometimes it's good because it makes them individual, but it's hard to
push a particular brand out.
Yeah. Like you mentioned Richie's. If they want to sell your product, they can just put an allocation out to all their stores. Yep, great, because one person is in charge of all those stores.
Yep.
But if you wanted to do it with the AUR, like the Foodworks, well, individual stores don't have to do it.
That's right, yeah.
And you need someone in those individual stores to go out.
And that's the problem with the individual stores. Yeah, that's
It's
the
just
problem.
getting that compliance. There's everybody to comply or agree.
Yeah.
And they look, the independent game is that's exactly what they are, because they're independent and can make their own choices.
Yeah. Made it hard with us because sometimes we go with we go to Foodworks and say they'd come to us and say can you do something to all our stores? Yep, no problem. Are they all going to jump in on this? We don't know.
Yeah,
well,
that's right.
It's really hard to give you an answer, but of course we go to all the Foodworks stores anyway.
Yeah.
But it's hard to give you a special if I don't know what I'm going to be doing it on.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So these ready-made meals, where can we find them?
You'll get them pretty much in
Any IGA.
any IGA.
Any IGA?
There's not many that aren't ranging.
Yeah.
So you got the ready meals, you got the produce,
Yep.
and you got salads,
Yep.
right? And obviously you started with produce. What was next? Also, the next was the salads, right? You got the salads,
Yep.
and then COVID sort of brought you to do ready-made meals.
Yeah, meals, and the meals. Yeah, so the meals market was expanding with so many hotels and restaurants
yeah, that's
closed.
right. Yeah,
so
yeah.
people were looking for an option that they didn't have to make. So as you see now, there's many brands just keep.
There is a lot.
It's a very competitive space.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
you've really got to be on your game and keep making sure you're on trend. Looking at what's coming up, where's the market heading, where's there a glut, where's there an opportunity.
And do you have a team that does that? Do that? Do you guys?
We're looking at
The team of one.
We do these meals in anything you find in a pre-pack. We also do in a bulk for the delis and pubs and things like that. But we have found our pre-pack sales are through the roof, and your bulk is. We're not in decline, but we're not in as much growth as we are with pre-packed. So we did just bring out like our scallop potatoes, sweet potato bake in a retail ready family size as well. So we brought that out for winter.
That'd be good. Scallop potato pre-pack.
And the tray just goes straight in the oven. So there's no cleaning, there's no nothing. So we bought that out. That's going really, really well. But we are finding the pre-packed, everything's moving to that pre-packed now.
Well, run us through the flavours you got. This one's a mushroom fettuccine pasta. What do you got, Dan?
Yeah, so we do like a pasta faves. So I think we've got like nearly 11 lines in pastas now.
Yeah.
Aussie pub grub, which is like schnitzels, parma,
Yeah.
meatloaf. Then we've got our Asian faves, which is chow mein, Singapore noodles, rice. Curries, we've got 2 lines in curries, but next winter we'll have some more.
Yep.
And then these also go in the bigger sizes with your scallop potatoes. We do a roast veg mix, pumpkin potato, onion, zucchini in an 800-gram family as well. And then we've got lasagnas. So we've got quite a few. I think we've got like 24 SKUs in.
What's your favourite?
My favourite is garlic prawn fettuccine.
Oh, no, I'm looking at it. Oh, no, that's Singapore noodles. I saw the prawn. I saw the prawn. There you go. No,
And that's our number one seller.
Yeah.
Number one
Yeah.
selling line.
We sell probably 3,000, if not more, a week of that.
So we never had a pre-packed lasagna. And obviously the lasagna market, we know how many lasagnas are out there. They're everywhere.
That's right.
We never done lasagna's been our number one selling line, believe it or not. It sits in a deli for about 10 years. And nobody would even know the brand or what it is, but it's just been sitting in an IGA, but it's been outselling everything for years. So we've only just released that now into a grab-and-go option. So, yeah. So that's still a staple as well.
Now, are you going in a certain direction with these? Are you targeting more like this one says low in sugar? Are you going like more like, for me, I have quite a lot of actually pre-made ready meals, but it's more for like calorie tracking and all that. Are you guys going down that route, or is it just purely flavour, accessibility and easy use?
We've only just started doing the call-outs recently because, you do have your high-protein meals, but not everyone wants a high-protein meal.
Yes, exactly.
Ours is just really like a family delicious meal that anyone can
home-cooked
have.
meal
So,
sort of
but
thing.
it's still nice to call out the low fats and things like
Yes.
that because people are looking for that.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely keep working away, and sodium's obviously a big push to pull low sodium. But the brand's been Simply Tasty, and our philosophy when we first started that was to give people a good, hearty, simple, with a generous serving size. And our biggest selling market for many, many years is Queensland, and we still probably sell more food in Queensland today than what we do in Victoria, in our home state.
There you go.
And some of those biggest markets for us have been the outback towns in Queensland, where the people are travelling through in their caravans going through.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Makes sense. That makes sense. You know, in the
you wouldn't think about it, but now when you explain it like that, it does make sense.
Yeah. In the supermarket, like I went to Richie's the other day. What did I go there for? Oh yeah, I went to get the hot dogs.
Hot dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you really like hot dogs.
That's what I was going to say.
He's the double dog man.
To this day, we go to the footy, he brings hot dogs.
No pie?
You know what? I saw a video on.
Dan does footy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's just this guy. He's like, he's showing this guy. He's trying to get the hot dog.
The
out
last
of the
hot dog
tin.
out of the thermos. Dad still brings a thermos.
I've got the wide mouth thermos. Right.
Okay, yeah.
I put in 10, 14 hot dogs in there. Right, in the wide thing.
One bun. No, I'm kidding.
So I go there and then I get the rolls and we get the footy because
It's expensive,
I don't want to
It
spend
is so
$2,000 just to get hot dogs for my kids.
It is so expensive at the footy. It's like...
Anyway. So sorry.
He went to Richie's to get his hot dogs.
Before I forget. Right? And I just happened to have a look and there's all these prepared meals. Like, they are taking up
Everywhere.
so much more space now in the supermarket sections.
Yep.
How does that... Well, obviously people are buying them, otherwise I wouldn't get the shelf space because that would be, that's what, where they make their money. But how do you go with competition in, because we've got a number of customers, good customers, that also do similar things. And for me, like sometimes I feel a little bit torn in a sense, like, yes, we're independent. We just deliver. There's no conflict with us, but we had one of our customers on last month. Excuse me.
Need water or something?
No, I'm fine. And it's like you get to the point where sometimes you feel like you're
Obligated?
in a sense not obligated, but
You said to me once, that if you can buy something from the store that we deliver, buy it. It helps us. That's what you told me.
yes.
You said that to me.
Yes.
If we deliver the company, you should get that product. I was like, oh.
Yeah. But I remember this lady because I had a fruit shop, right?
Yep.
And this lady came in and she goes, John, I've been feeling guilty all week. I said, well, what's wrong? She goes, well, the other day I was down Glen Huntley Road and I needed some bananas and I was running late. I had to go pick up the kids and I just went into another fruit shop and bought some bananas. I felt so guilty, right? And I thought that was just nice. When you have that
Yeah.
rapport with your
Back to
customers.
loyalty again.
Yeah. So, Alex and Jackie, you eat a lot of these meals. How do you get 1 week it'll be this brand, 1 week it'll be that brand? Do you stay on the brands? Do you find things go up and down? How does that work? Because there's so many choices.
There is so many choices. I'm very much taste driven, but I'm into the gym. I go to the gym quite a bit. And I look at them.
Can't tell, bro.
You can't tell? I should have got a tighter
You
shirt.
slack it off.
I look at the calories in the protein concept. That's because that's where my passion is, in a way.
That's where your life's at right now.
Yeah, my life's
Wait
at
till
right
you
now.
have kids. Yeah, go on.
But yeah, honestly, I'm a first impressions last kind of guy. So if I try a new company and the first flavour of what I try isn't nice,
Yeah,
I very rarely go back to that one.
Yeah, I understand.
And that's what I find. And I do try to buy similar because I'm a very basic, plain palate kind of guy. So I'll probably buy. I get it from you.
You're welcome.
I'll get it like pretty much the same style of meal from different companies, and throughout the week I'll just snack on this, and I'm like, oh, well, I like this company better for this, and then I'll go to a different flavour and I'll go from there. But
So you order from like 6 different people and you just get 1 or 2 meals from each.
no, I don't order. It's just whatever's at the server on the way through.
Oh, so you only get 1 or 2 people?
I only
from
get 1 or
service.
2. Yeah.
You don't try all the other meals?
No.
That's basically what he's asking.
Well, from one company. Nah,
Not for one company. No.
No, but I'm saying they've only got 1 or 2 brands that are all selling in 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Then
So
we'll go
I'll
to-
grab one of them, and then
But we tried as a group.
We tried.
I got some stuff off eFoods. Their stuff's nice. Then recently, we've done orders with
We name dropping.
Clean.
That's
Clean Eats, I think it is. I like their stuff actually. And then obviously U Foods used to have a bit. My mum should have some good ones as well. But yeah, the last two ones I've cycled is Clean Eats and E-Foods. The last two ones.
For my
And
Master
they're
Chef
also-
meals, it's at the gym. So if I'm at the gym, I'll grab it on the way out.
Yeah, but it's funny enough because we now have your meals actually inside our office space because we got a mini market and they've started stocking your range. So I know my system that have had some of your meals. But yeah, whatever. I mean,
We had Fox's Den as well, like some of their products.
yeah.
But
But they're a bit different. I felt like-
but the quality of the products that are coming out now,
Yeah, a lot
like
better.
if you go back 10 years ago or something,
If
it
you
was
go
like
back around-
cardboard.
If you go like pre-COVID, it was different. Like obviously there was like there used to be I used to get some stuff from Core Power Foods, but that was mainly more of like so it's
prison
basically
food.
body. Yeah,
Respectfully.
What would you say?
That's prison food. Respect.
We cut it out.
We kinda-
No, you know what? It just wasn't as tasty because it was all about calories.
It is
right?
literally
Yeah.
like, it's
literally
like
for-
boiled chicken,
What's
boiled
yeah,
vegetables.
because it's literally for bodybuilders.
It is.
That was their market. It was that because there's literally even got a shredded guy on the picture. That's what that was their demographic. Because I used to get some of their stuff, but that was like, yeah, you weren't eating for taste.
You know, if we ever do home deliveries, you've just shot yourself in the foot now.
I don't know.
Because we used to do them for home deliveries.
Core power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots of them out there.
There's so much range
and that's
now.
the biggest challenge, like
Yeah.
for us, you know, is to remain relevant in the market, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, but how do you do that when there's so many, like, you've got your top...
Well, we were talking about before.
Yeah, you've got your
Loyalty.
top... Hang on. Yeah, but you've got your top sellers.
Yeah.
Now, if all of a sudden one of your brands isn't performing like you know it should, do you then say, okay, what else has come out in the marketplace that's overtaking
I
that one
think
there?
importantly is
Do you know what I mean?
you bring out something that no one else has got because you can bring out another line that someone else has got, and if theirs is selling, you're not going to get that shelf space. So you really need to be looking at what's not out there,
Okay.
and then you've got that opportunity to take some space there.
We've just brought out lots of what we call fusion. So we've got taken our butter chicken sauce and added it with a gnocchi, you know, like trying to do, which is that's something unusual.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because typically the other ones are like in most of the meals you're always getting spaghetti. You're always getting a lasagna. You're getting a butter chicken.
Yep.
Yeah, but they're the ones.
There's a lot of them do burrito bowls now.
That's right, a lot of them do burritos.
Yeah.
But
the pasta one is a bit. We're Italian, so we're pretty biased on the flavouring of all brands. But yeah, you'll like the gnocchi with butter chicken. Like that sort of experimentation is. That's a good idea.
Yeah, so we're looking more. That's
Gnocchi with
what
butter
we're.
chicken.
Yeah, it's
gnocchi
it's-
flavour with butter chicken. Sorry,
you want to try
It's
one?
a butter chicken sauce. It's got no chicken in it though, John. It's just the sauce. So yeah,
It's like called a spice curry.
as I said
Spice
before,
curry,
the plain palate I get it from this
Yeah.
guy.
He's like,
Yeah.
why would you, he's thinking, why? Why? What did you put?
Cultural clash.
So the other talk about challenging, but then the other challenge for us is we've only ever had a B to C model. So how do we get the Simply Tasty brand more recognised, you know, within the marketplace? Because we don't promote to the direct to the consumer, and we just rely on our independents at this point in time. That's all we can do. So we've got to rely on them to take faith in us to stock our products, and then hopefully the consumer gets to their store, you know, and pulls the product through. So. We've got a bit of work. We need to now that we've built our facility, we're settling in, you know, it's about brand recognition and getting our name out there.
Do you do home delivery for these?
No, we need you to get on board with that.
We've been talking about it. We actually have been talking
This
about
week we've
it.
been talking about it. Yeah.
No, we've run for a while. We'll touch on that a little bit later. But there potentially might be something there that we're working on in the background. Now, with your factory, you mentioned you do contract manufacturing. So obviously, tech, right, is a bit important to that, right? How has that sort of moved your business forward over the past years? Through systems, through tech. Do you have your own systems? Or you obviously are using things off the shelf?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
We've still got quite a bit of work to do around it.
Yeah.
We're actually in the process now of building a new system, which is full recipe management with a bomb built into it, and all but to try and bring all our quality paperwork into it as well.
Yeah, okay.
We're still very labour intensive around quality systems. A lot of paper.
Yeah.
Ticks and checks. So, you know, a big focus for the next 12 months now that we've settled in, because it's one thing to have great systems and like we talk about in that tech world, but you if you move to a new facility, it means nothing from what you've had in the past. So we've had to move to a new facility, not just move to a new facility, but we've got brand new equipment.
Yeah.
Some of this equipment is new to Australia, so we had to go overseas and take our guys over there to do the learnings. And we're 18 months in, and we're still learning. So, but we're getting better. So we've just got to keep improving now. So we sort of feel that we're at that point now, where we need to, where we really need to get some good back end, systems in place and try and ease that workload up on the guys so they can concentrate more around looking at the product rather than looking at paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a question. Contract manufacturing, like, okay, so you've got your product, and let's say you have this product, and you're selling it for, I don't know, $10, a meal. If like someone like an Aldi or someone come to you and say, we want you to put it in our own label, which is contract manufacturing, yeah?
Yep.
And they can then, and because their model is so cheap, you then have to sell it to them, well, you don't have to, but you generally would sell it to them at a lesser cost, and then they sell it for $9.50, you might make 50 cents less, but aren't you taking that away from your own product? Like if someone says, oh, no, I'm just going to go there and buy it. How does that work?
Yeah, we've got to be very careful of that. So we do very little of that, but there is that.
And we would change
happens.
you'd have to change our recipe to use, maybe just cut some things out to get cheaper. Like it wouldn't be exactly the same as our Simply Tasty. Like
Okay.
we wouldn't be able to sell that in. You would have to make adjustments.
So when when we talk contract manufacturing, John, we probably talk more about people who come to us with a recipe. Can you make this product?
I thought it was like your things, you just whack a different label on.
No. So it's people
That does happen, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
I know it happens.
Yeah.
I know that happens.
We did have a major retailer, come to us for lasagna in the last 6 months, but we couldn't. Yeah, similar thing, but we just couldn't make it work. We would have loved to have the opportunity, but just
But you've got to protect your brand.
Yeah.
This is where I just see it. Over the years I've seen it.
Yep.
You've got a great product. You package it into, someone else's label.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, they want to cut costs and do this and do that, and you cannot do it. You just can't do it. So they say, yep, no worries. Thank you for building up our sales on this line. We're now going to go over here because they're going to do it for $1 less.
Yeah, and we're being
The
taught about
taste
that.
is never going to be the same,
No.
but the people, the consumer, they know, oh yeah, I buy that. So they're just going to keep buying it. And they might think the first time, they do that.
Bashed or something.
Yeah, it's not quite right. And then they do it again and then, no, okay, maybe it's
Must be
me.
the thing. Yeah.
And that's, we go back to, the brand and the recognition around the brand is you don't want to, you've got to just try and stay to your lane, don't you? But
Yeah.
I think it's so important.
Yeah.
Like the market said, just go straight.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's the biggest thing, or a major factor, is brokers, extra middlemen, because they will obviously come to you guys and say, hey, they'll work it out with you. They'll come to me and say, no, if you want this, you have to be here, and they'll screw me down, right? So obviously they're sort of playing. I say they're playing both, right? And so I think there's them, right? Because they're obviously, for people that want to secure work, right? Then
So they want to be competitive, but obviously clip the ticket on the
correct.
Yeah,
That's
and-
right. Yeah. So the margin
there's
is
a middleman.
They're taking
I
the
disagree
whether
with
they're
that.
taking it from you, they're taking a margin, right? But it seems to be more. I reckon they're taking more margin off the people that are actually doing the work, like the carriers, right? Because they're the ones that got to be more. They're the ones going to have their compliance in check. They've got those drivers. All costs are really there, right? All these guys are just clipping a ticket, right? So there's them, and obviously the suppliers or the manufacturers, right? Also, you got your own costs that have gone up, right? So you're also looking to get more competitive rates, right? So if you add those two together, then with us, and we need to put our rates up because our costs have also gone up. It's the margin is becoming wider. It's a bigger gap. So that's why I feel that's sort of where issues
It's
are going.
concerning though to see like transport companies
Yeah.
going out of business.
Yeah.
But where does it bottom
Well,
out? It's that's obviously the margin is not where it needs to be set to make it work for
it's the
everyone.
backload rates.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what's killing the
Should there
industry.
be a backload rate?
There shouldn't be.
Yeah. I was
There
on LinkedIn
shouldn't
the
be.
other day, and there was a post, and they were saying that there should be no such thing as a backload rate. It should, because the cost should be the same.
Yeah, because it costs us the same to go up as it does to come back.
Yeah.
Right? Still got to pay the driver. Still got to pay the fuel.
Yeah.
The argument can be made, yep, you're using a little bit less fuel if you come back empty, but you don't want to come back empty. And that's where it starts, because you think, okay, I'm going to be coming back empty, so I'll take anything, because anything's going to be better than coming back for nothing.
So you're looking at the whole trip from here to Sydney return, and then you're getting X amount for one way and X amount for the other. So you're looking at it as a return trip rather than an individual trip both ways.
Yeah, but the problem with that is, people.
I don't agree with it. I reckon it's wrong.
People from here, they've got nothing to come back. So now, we have to then find someone to fill up our trucks to come back. And that's where the problem is, especially when there's more stock going up than there is coming back. Yeah. So then, whoever's left, they're all fighting for that little bit that's coming back.
Correct, yeah.
Right? And that's where it starts, where, your break-even point might be, say, 2,500 to come back, just throwing out a number, and you think, well, I'll do it for 2,000 if you give me the work, because I'd rather lose 500 than 2,500. You know what I mean? And then someone else says, oh, well, I'd rather lose 1,800 than 2,000. And then all of a sudden, it should, for me, the price should never go below what it costs you to do the job.
But see, wouldn't it just, it's counterproductive, because at a point, you're just losing more money. You're losing more money. I say losing more money. You're bringing the whole market down it costs, now the going rate is this, because...
Yeah, they've set a new benchmark.
That's what I mean. So the benchmark is, so everyone's losing.
But
and that's why
who's driving this benchmark though? Like, where's the main drivers? Who's the key behind it?
I don't know.
Screwing prices down.
There's a lot of operators that are coming in.
But
there's new operators coming in as well.
Is it the retailer? Is it at retail level?
I think for those those big players, right? Those big chains. Yes, obviously they're putting a lot of pressure onto their carriers, right?
Yeah, they driving the price down.
Yes, yeah. So because they're.
I suppose that's where I'm heading. Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think
they
so,
are.
Jay.
They are.
Yeah, but if you need your goods taken from one state to the other, if everyone just says, well, no, we need this, what are they going to do?
That's the thing. Not everyone's
I don't
saying
see.
that. There's always one person that'll do a little bit less, a little bit less, a little bit less, and all of a sudden you keep getting down. Right now it's a race to the bottom, but it's for you guys, right? You guys need to cut costs in your business, right? So let's say you got a transport company that's at this price, someone's at this price here. They're significantly cheaper. They're both going to do the same thing, right? On paper, you'd go with the cheapest one, right? But they may not have the best compliance. They may not have the best coverage, whatever it is. But for you and your business, it's the decision that's made there and then, right? So there's a lot more people coming in and said, I can do it for this, to do that, for doing that. But they are cutting corners. They'll say we do this, but they actually don't, right? Like for us, the compliance is big, and then we have all our tech in our trucks. So, then we have our warehouses. So our overall costs are more to someone that just has, a truck and he's just come to do A to B, right? There's a bit more overheads.
He's not paying a compliance guy. He's not, doing everything he needs to do for HACCP, and that's a part that that we have to compete with, because the market's not really regulated the way it should be. Anyone can go and buy 5 or 6 trucks and start up, and then all of a sudden they're they're thinking they're making really good money. Then in 4 or 5 years they realise, oh, hang on, we have to replace our trucks now.
Yeah.
Now
that's when someone get caught. Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't factor that in. Now, to replace a good B double set, it's about 900,000.
That's the thing. So the cost of assets have gone up, but then there's other players that will come to you that they'll get, you know, a very cheap truck, very cheap trailer, right? Versus someone else that's, you know, committed to buying a newer asset that's going to last them longer, right? Obviously, their costs straight away are completely different. So everything is sort of like there's multiple factors that
it's not sustainable and it's not scalable, and that's the problem. I mean, you have a look at Scott's and Don Watson, who went under recently.
Yeah, well, no, they didn't go under.
Sorry, they closed their doors.
Down, yeah.
They closed. Don Watson closed their doors. Yeah, and like I said to you, I've mentioned it before. You know, they did it the right way. You know, and you could see they had a lot of new assets, so they were getting new equipment all the time.
They had new things ordered before they said they closed. Yep. There was new orders. There was new gear. You can see at the auctions, they're brand new gear.
Yep. So you've got them, and then you look at when Scott's went under. You know, you have a look, and they had some really, really old equipment because the contracts that they had, they could not go and get new equipment. It wasn't factored in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I remember some of the rates when they were there. Some of the rates that I would ask, you know, what's it cost to get back here? Some of the rates they'd tell me like, bro.
Well, no wonder they went under. No wonder they closed their
cheaper
doors.
than what we do here. Some of the stuff in, you know, Metro, but, you know.
Just good comment. I mean, as manufacturers, we rely on a lot of transport companies. I mean, we're transporting to Perth as far as Cairns and as far south as Hobart. So, you know, you've got a lot of freight happening around the place, and you see, you always get scared when you hear those stories.
Yeah.
And you go, where does the work go now? But
Yeah.
it feels like it hasn't. Like people seem to be picking it up, but not. Sounds like the bar needs to rise at some stage.
Yeah, I mean, look, there is a lot more people out there now. There's a lot more, especially the last 5 years, and that's why, you know, I think you know, some of the things I've heard from you know Watson's guidance. In the last 5 years, there's been a lot more carriers sort of come in, right? And that's sort of affected, especially in the line horse sector. You know, a few of those carriers. I mean, you've got. But it's weird because then some of the people in that industry are booming, right? But I know the reason why they're booming is they're just undercutting, right? And yes,
they're buying business. They're buying the work.
And when you
They're
look at it,
buying
you're
the
like,
work.
well, you now know what it costs to do that. It doesn't make sense, but you know they're operating on very, very, very minimal margin. That probably doesn't allow things to go wrong. But then again, I think it also depends on.
So things always go wrong. You always have accidents. You always
yeah.
Things in transport, things always pop up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And they just like for me, it's good conversations to hear because you know, we're talking family businesses here.
Yeah.
Our margin, you know, with what's going up, we're seeing so much of a rising power, gas. You know, everything. Every time you turn a corner, you think you're on top of something. Something else just hits you and goes whack. We know doing business in Victoria is not always great, is it? We're competing on a national scale, but we're taxed. You know, we're nearly unfairly taxed against our competitors out of Sydney and out of Adelaide and, you know, out of Brisbane. Because why? Because where we're based, we're already at an unfair advantage, and then we've got all these other high input costs. Yeah. So I see.
Don't come to Roeville with the land tax. Don't go there because it's just.
But it worries me because we are in a cost of living crisis, and
That's
people are genuinely doing it tough out there.
Yeah.
But us as business owners, we're in no different. Our margins are being squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. It's becoming harder and harder to make money. So, you know, the thing that scares me now is that we're probably not charging. You know, as business people, we're not
the
charging
right rate.
what we should be getting paid for our stock because of where it's at. So
we've absorbed how much cost into everything. We haven't had a price rise.
So it does worry me because we talk about the cost of living. The cost of living probably going to go up because of the way because of the situations we're finding ourselves.
You're finding efficiencies in your business to keep your margins down.
Absolutely, that's what you got to do.
But at the end of the day, those efficiencies is going to come. Like there's only so much you can take out.
Yeah.
It's eaten up. Last week I got from my gas company and power provider. Rates are changing. We're going up. You know, so you're receiving these things all the time, and you gain efficiency. You do what you can to look at your business and how do I do things better? How can I change this around? If I put that in there, does that make that go through? You're always looking to change things up. So yeah, you might get that, but then you seem to be getting whacked on the other side because of something that's totally out of our control.
Yep. Like
frustrating.
land tax.
I'm frustrated. Yeah, land tax.
We spoke on land tax heaps of times, Dad, but you want to talk about climate change.
Climate change.
If we're serious, then why?
I've never heard this guy.
If we are serious, then why dig up coal and sell China?
Okay.
Anything climate, I heard you speak.
It's got nothing to do with what we're talking about, nothing to do with transport, however.
We're talking about things,
Yeah.
prices going up.
Yeah.
Lovely government, yeah.
Victoria is, to me, broke. We aim to be broke. We're below broke, right? They owe so much money. We're heading to, right now, $1 million an hour is going to be like what we have to pay back. $1 million an hour, right? That's what we owe as Victorians. Now, what I don't understand is a lot of it's driven through, from my understanding, this net zero, climate change. Now, I don't know if it's real, if it's not real, but what doesn't make sense to me is, if you're a big producer of emissions, you can buy credits from another country. They go and plant trees, and that offsets your emissions. Doesn't mean you're not making them; you're just offsetting them, right?
Seriously?
To me, that's
I think we need to fact check that one.
To me, I think that's wrong. Now, with coal, we're mining coal here, right? Mining coal, right? We're then shipping it over to, say, China, where they produce the solar panels, the wind farm equipment, and give it back to us. Now, if we're really worried about climate change, don't dig the coal up in the first place. Or, instead of sending it over there, why don't we use it? And instead of crippling our state. That's what I don't understand.
Just like Jack, you lost me.
No, I'm listening. You can't speak for me.
I've seen your face.
That's just my face.
No, but what part of that? Okay, so what part of that?
Well, Jack,
No.
I would love Jack. Can you retell me what he said? Summarise it, if you'd please.
We're giving shit to China when we should just do it ourselves here. Part of it, but why dig it up in the first place? That's what he said.
What's the use for coal? What's the use for coal, Jack?
It's in everything, isn't it?
Keeps you hot. You use it for power and things, right? They shut down the Yallourn power station about 7 years ago, and our price here tripled. It tripled. Electricity price tripled when they closed that down.
Fucking hell.
So why not just, look after it? We need to.
I'm sure
need
there's
to
some
learn.
sort of reason why they're doing it. I'm sure there's a reason.
Because some people in power are stupid. What else could it be? What else can it be?
But your knowledge from the TikTok reels you see, we need to fact check some of these.
Okay, fact check it. But for me, it makes no sense. If you're talking about net zero, it makes no sense if we're just going to... If we're going to dig up the coal, we might as well... If it's going to get used, then why don't we just use it ourselves and keep prices down? Try explaining to, an elderly pensioner, who can't put her heater on because it's going to cost her too much to put the heater on, explain to her why net zero is going to make a big difference. We need to get on top of our debt, Why are we still sending money overseas, and why are we still, giving these grants away on these ridiculous things? Stop spending money. Stop spending money. Get on top of. Get on top of us.
Use a $300 bonus to go check your. So then people aren't spending that on electricity; they're spending it at the shop.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's makes no sense. There's gas, electricity, and gas. But I think the thing is, at the end of the day, Victoria, we are suffering because of what happened during the pandemic and the most lockdown state in the world.
Yeah.
Of any, lock down the most people anywhere. And, I just don't know what the thought process was now. And that's why we are disadvantaged by being Victorians today. And we will continue to be disadvantaged, I believe, for longer than what we'll ever see out.
But taxing businesses the way that they are, it's not the solution. It's actually adding to the problem.
Yep.
Because tax you guys, tax us. Okay, what do we have to do to stay in business? We have to put our prices up.
That's right.
Yeah. Who ends up paying?
Yep.
The consumer.
That's right.
And that's where the cost of living goes up. Someone has to wear the cost.
Yep.
And it's also labour. It's also the price of labour. Labour keeps going up, and things just have to cost more just by default.
Yep.
Or you automate.
Yep. Automation and more and more, we'll continue to lose more and more work out of our own country because of the way we are.
We're being forced to go that route, though.
Yeah.
A few things to fire off as we'll wrap up shortly. Favourite product across all your ranges?
Scallop potatoes.
Scallop potatoes.
I don't make them anymore. And then we brought out a sweet potato bake, and that went great. So now he wants a pumpkin bake. Like any other bakes you want to put on the market?
Sweet potato bake's my
Sweet
favourite.
potato bake. Yours?
Scallop potatoes.
Scallop potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't like scallop potatoes.
Don't you?
No.
You haven't had ours then.
True, but as general, I like mash and I like roast potatoes.
Yeah.
Building blocks are pretty much there. You just
What's been the most rewarding experience you've had so far? Your journey in Jar King, and also Mal's role when you've come
Firing
in.
Mal, wouldn't it?
Oh, she's on a roll now.
I really get rewarded by people, and seeing people flourish, bringing in people, that into the business, and it doesn't matter at what level, and working with them and giving them skills and upskilling them and training them and making better people in the community. If we can just help anybody, be a better person. We look at the crime that we see, the whole. I know we keep going back on what's happening in Victoria, but crime is just horrendous, isn't it? So getting more and more kids and at that level and trying to just create better pillars in our community.
You've hit a trigger point on me. This crime thing. You've hit a trigger point. There was, yes, on TikTok, I saw a reel, right, where this female magistrate let a guy out after it was like 140 odd offences, and he went out and reoffended again, and she was asked why she keeps letting him out, and like the last time he basically got a slap on the wrist, and her answer was, well, because he doesn't listen to what we tell him to do anyway. Now, I feel like I'm missing something. She should be sacked straight off the bat. Get rid of her because she's a problem.
Yep.
She's a problem sometimes more than the kids, right? Kids are kids and they need to be moulded and guided down a particular path, all right? But if there's no consequence, well, of course they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
They're just going to keep doing what they're doing
Did you
because...
just see recently? There was 3 teenage girls on the...
Yeah,
That was last night. I mean, it's every night.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
What happened?
13 years old.
Bro, turn your TikTok. And they watched 3 teenage girls hijacked a car and then smashed it in Brighton.
I didn't hear that.
But it had bottles of vodka coming
that's right.
out. They were
Yeah.
13 and 14-year-old girls,
Yeah,
and
that's
the
right.
car was on its roof.
Yeah. And then again, there was another machete attack
Yeah.
as well.
That
Even
man,
though it
his
was
hand,
yeah, that's
lost his
right.
whole hand.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, banning machetes, that's worked well, hasn't it? Because ban machete, well, the people who are going to be wielding those things, do you really think they care if you say you're not allowed to use them?
Yeah, no, they
It's
don't.
too. It's too
I
little,
mean-
too late.
Yeah.
Put them, lock them up.
Yeah.
Lock them up.
Yeah.
You just got to lock them up. You got to make the crime fit the punishment. Lock them up. especially some of these, and people say, oh yeah, but they're young. Well, you keep letting them do it, they're going to be old and they're going to refine their criminality. I don't know if that makes sense.
And so back on your question. So that's for me. Back to the rewarding part is trying to bring people as family business. I mean, family businesses, you can control things a bit differently, can't you? And you can make your people feel like they're a part of your family.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a business. You know?
Correct.
It is about, because we don't have a business without the people. So it's about getting the people, getting their involvement, getting their buy-in, and then we self-promote and try and lift them up. And when somebody comes to me and says, I've just got a new job, you know, I look at it as promotion, I go, congratulations, well done. And I'm glad we could have been a part of your journey on the way, you know, because I'm not here to hold you back. I'm here to help you be better. So I'm really passionate about it.
So how old are you?
51.
Okay. Yeah,
Should we retire 65?
He won't.
66.
10 years.
66.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
So that's for me. That's what I like.
I asked that because I remember, I think you start to feel that way once you hit around 45.
Yep.
You know, it did for me. You know, you just want to help more people. And for me, the older I've gotten, you do. You want to genuinely just help people. And if you know, for us, you know, to see our employees be able to go on trips and, you know, buy homes and things like that's a reward in itself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's also sometimes scary thinking you've got all these people that rely on you
Absolutely.
for their livelihood.
And that's what
You
you worry about, but for me the most, you know, you want to make sure that you're protecting your people and that they're looked after.
Yeah,
I think Jack said at a family dinner once, he said, Dad, do you feel accomplished knowing that you feed so many mouths through the work you've given to your staff? And I guess it's the same thing for you. You feel like it is a bit of a part of your family, which that's always the way Dad's driven the company anyway. It's very much a family business.
So we've still today got people, I'm not sure, I know we first met, we spoke about it earlier today, John, 19 years ago when I went in and we first started doing business. And So, you know, I've got staff that have been with the business now for 25 plus years.
Yeah.
That's good.
That, to me, that there is a sign of a good business. Good employer, because, you know, your staff want to stay.
Yep.
You know, we...
I'm forced to stay. No.
We've sacked you 3 times. No joke. He's actually been like that.
We've sacked him more than 3
and
times.
our warehouse manager sacked him as well.
And he still keeps coming back.
CEO position.
I don't know what you do around here except just try and put
Okay,
your
so
squat and
hang on. So you two need to stop hanging shit on each other.
Sorry? When have I done that?
You
Literally tried to
always
corner
have
me
little
before 10
jabs.
minutes ago.
You have little jabs. Yeah, but
If I don't jab him, I actually may clock him. So
no, just stop.
Swing, mate. You got a
Stop.
glass jaw.
See, this is the joys of a family business.
But I love that. It's just banter. I love that.
Mel, what's something you hold greatly from working at your time at Joel King? What's something that you've learnt?
Oh, I've actually learnt a lot. So before I started here, I've always just done a state role, just Vic, SA. When I first started with Michael, he literally threw me in the deep end and said, you're going to New Zealand, you've got a conference. I was there for 4 weeks. I knew nobody. I think the relationships I've built, not just with the people I work with, but my customers, like I'm actually friends with my customers as well. So it's quite rewarding, the relationships that I've had to do on my own. Like I've had to turn up to places not knowing one person and, you know, trying to fit in, trying to make those conversations. So that's rewarding. And there's probably not a customer that I actually don't not have a relationship with. So
They all know you now, Mel.
yeah,
And to wrap it off, what's
I'll answer that. I think
best piece? Oh, sorry, it's best piece of advice you've received.
well, I've had my dad has always said to me, if you can't control it, do not stress about it. But it doesn't really work for me.
Yeah, that's actually quite good.
Always says, if you can't control it, why are you worrying about it? But
See,
it actually doesn't fit well.
That actually, just on that quickly, that actually, I used to have I couldn't go on airplanes. because so when we go to Sydney, I drive all the time. My dad told me we'll drive. I couldn't go. I was too scared in there. Anyone on boats, and then I had to go on an airplane because I was going over to propose to my wife in Italy. And
Well, you didn't
that
have to
there
go.
literally
You didn't have to
is
go.
how I got on the plane. I thought, you know what? If something goes down, I can't control it.
Yeah.
So it's out of my thing. And I just
I
played
do
that.
try and use it a lot. Like
Yeah.
I've used it a couple of times a week, but it just
Yeah.
doesn't really.
Yeah, no, that actually got me through. Now I fly everywhere, but that
Yeah.
there sort of got me through because I want to be in control all the time. And
It's like
obviously
when someone says have a safe flight. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just sitting back at row 22. I've got no control.
If it come
I'll
up,
try.
if the opportunity come up, I reckon I could land a bunch.
I'd like an opportunity.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd like to.
Yeah, and what about you, Michael?
I think one thing my father always said to me, talking about that, I was just thinking about the same thing. He said, "It's listen, always listen. Don't think you know. Always sit back, listen to what people tell
Never
you."
ever listen to me.
I'd always listen.
Always doing something else.
He's listened to you, but he may
listening
make
to
a
you, but I'm
difference. Yeah,
busy
that's
at the
right.
same
Yeah.
time.
I say to him, can you turn your computer off and get off your phone? Because I actually need you to listen to me right now.
But some of our best inspirations and these sort of things and where we are today is not my idea. It's the people within the business. That's their ideas. So they come to you. They have ideas. Listen to what they've got to tell you. You know, because your next best idea is probably within someone within your business that's actually on the ground going, I've got an idea, and make sure that they've got a voice and they can come and talk to you and you listen to them, and then see where it goes from there. And there's been
That's good.
plenty of what we sell today is just inspiration from our people.
Yep. And you always want to try and bring in people that are better than you.
That's it.
You know.
Try and
What's that?
surround yourself with the best.
Yeah. What's that saying? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're probably in the wrong room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the if you hang around the barbershop, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut.
It's true. It's right. What do you
That's
mean?
true.
It's right.
Not
It's
wrong.
a classic, bros. Have you
Yeah.
heard it before?
I'll send you the ticket.
What I've heard is, show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Yeah,
I know that one there.
Yeah, but I'll
and that, you know.
that's the modern version.
Yeah.
Right,
No.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, that about basically wraps us up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks, Mal and Michael, for joining us on the pod.
Thanks for
Hopefully
having us
you
along,
enjoyed
guys.
it. It was great to understand, the origin story and where the business is today. So we appreciate that. And keep up to date on our socials. We've got a few things happening. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Oh, and thank you, Dad and Alex, for always joining on the podcast. Appreciate it. Catch you later.